Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to the premiere episode of AI and You. And for this new season of AI and You, we are finally back with its new tagline, which is Smart Tech, Smarter You. And for this season of AI and You, we aim to bring you listeners on an insightful journey to better understand artificial intelligence, its growing role in our daily lives, and also in how it can benefit the whole ummah. And also, for this new season, inshallah, it is actually in the partnership with the Center for Artificial Intelligence and Robotics, Cairo, Universiti Teknologi Malaysia, UTM. I'm Batrisyia Afrina, and I'm delighted to be with you once again for this new season of AI and You. And special also for this season, I will not be hosting alone. I'm actually honored to be joined by someone who I highly respect. He is a co-host, will be with me throughout this season, throughout the series of AI and You. Sitting next to me is Dr. Shaikh Saifuddeen bin Shaikh Saleh, who is the Director of Research at the Center at the Research Management Unit RMU at the Institute of Islamic Understanding Malaysia, IKIM. Assalamualaikum, Doctor.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. How are you this morning?
I'm doing good. How about you, Doctor?
Alhamdulillah, doing good as well.
Alhamdulillah. I think this is a very refreshing for this season. Usually we have the conversation, right, for the first season in our Conti, but today we are outside in a lab, in a special lab, Doctor.
Yes, we are actually at the Field Robotics and Agricultural Lab of the Center for Artificial Intelligence and Robotics, Cairo, at Universiti Teknologi Malaysia in Kuala Lumpur. And for that, I think I'd like to record my greatest appreciation to Cairo and also to UTM for agreeing to collaborate with us in producing this program for this season.
Yes.
And if you're tuning through our Facebook and YouTube, you can see that actually today's broadcast happens from inside the lab that I mentioned. And we also have with us the Pepper Robot, who's accompanying us in today's episode.
Indeed, the lab you are currently in, and also if you're tuning, you can see the robot that we have here next to us is very impressive and reflects the remarkable advancement made by Cairo and also UTM. And for the launch of the premiere episode of AI and You, I think there's perhaps no one more fitting to join us than the leader who has played a pivotal role in shaping not only the future of AI, but also the direction of Universiti Teknologi Malaysia itself. Professor Technologist Dr. Shafri Rahim is the Vice Chancellor of Universiti Teknologi Malaysia UTM and a renowned expert in artificial intelligence and image processing. He played a key role in the establishment of Malaysia's first Faculty of Artificial Intelligence at UTM, which was officially launched by the Prime Minister of Malaysia, Yang Amat Berhormat Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim, on the 10th May 2024. Holding a PhD in spatial modeling and possessing extensive expertise on computer graphics and intelligence system, Professor Shafri has served in numerous prominent academic and administrative capacities, including as Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic and International, and Chair of the Institute for Life Ready Graduates. It is my pleasure to welcome Professor Technologist Dr. Shafri Rahim to the program. Assalamualaikum, Prof.
Waalaikumsalam, Batrisyia.
Alhamdulillah, Prof. It is an honor for us to have you, and also thank you also, Prof, for accepting our invitation to be part of the program. It is truly an honor to have you with us.
Thank you, Batrisyia.
Okay, Prof, let's begin our discussion for this first episode. Now, we know that Malaysia is actually taking bold steps towards becoming an AI nation by the year 2030. And we have various initiatives launched by the government, for example, the National AI Office and also the National AI Action Plan. And this actually shows that the country is embracing AI as a key driver of future development. But of course, beyond economic growth and technological advancement, an important question remains. How can AI be used to benefit people and society? And this actually brings us to today's topic, which is AI Nation. So, Prof, let's begin with the first question. In your view, Prof, what does AI Nation truly mean? If you look at what the government is doing, the government projects that AI has the potential to contribute up to 500 billion ringgit to the national economy by the year 2030. So is AI Nation merely a technological agenda, or is it something much larger?
Okay, baik. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Thank you both of the to joining so this morning. So I think first I would like to address my gratitude to the ICAM because inviting me to the podcast to discuss about I think a very important topics. But we must understand how back to the question that asking by doctor that how important AI in the nation. So why AI is very important for our country? Why our Prime Minister putting AI as a tool to achieve the mission of the country? I think I will start with the first when I would like to address also my deepest gratitude to the Yang Amat Berhormat Prime Minister and also Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri Diraja Dr. Zamri Abdul Kadir. Both of them give us strong support to establish first Faculty of Artificial Intelligence. When we studied why we need the faculty and also why Prime Minister put the idea of AI Nation in national plan, because of it based on the Madani framework. If you understand, what is in the Madani framework. In the Madani framework, basically, there are very important things that you need to raise up the ceiling and then raise up the floor. What it mean? It means that you need to grow the economy and then you need to make sure that our people receive is a good income. What is that? Why? Because to make sure that we can, prosper the prosperity in the country, to make sure that our people receive good services and also to ensure that, our citizen, receive the quality of life. Okay, that is most important. That's why we need to understand what kind of tool that can support this kind of framework, which is artificial intelligence. Because you want to increase the economy, you need a tool to optimize a lot of things, and then you need a tool to grow the economy very fast, whereby the answer is artificial intelligence. Why artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence basically can acquire a lot of information to assist people or assist citizens to make decisions. This is most important. Means that by using artificial intelligence, we can improve our services sector, our factory, our engineering, our banking system, and our economy, our poverty, and a lot of things, because of this technology will encourage people, we embrace what we call it later on is to grow the economy. That is the impact of artificial intelligence. Then, I think that's why Prime Minister put it AI-driven nation or AI nation in the Malaysia plan. We know that by using artificial intelligence, we can increase our productivity, it can increase our quality of product and services, then we can, explore the bigger market in the world. So the impact is our society. They can receive, when the economy grows very fast, then a society can receive a lot more benefit from that. I think that's why the reason why AI Nation being introduced, because this only solution nowadays, for the Malaysia to succeed in any vision putting in the Malaysia Madani framework. Okay, So second thing is that it's not only the economy to grow, but another part is basically to develop the human value. That's why in the Madani framework, there are 6 values, 6 or 7, I forgot about it. But I think first is about sustainability, prosperity, innovation, respect, trust, care, and compassion. So this value basically will shape our society to be a better society in the future. So the concept of that is, in Islam, they call it Khairul Ummah, the better Ummah.
The best of people.
The best of the people. So then the best of the people, can basically think about the future, can use the technology, managing a lot of things to contribute to the quality of living in the future. So I think this is why AI nation is very important. Okay? Another thing is that in the Madani framework economy, they highlight about the high return, high value. So the only way that you can achieve this is through AI. That's why AI nation is very important in the 13 Malaysia plan. So I think this is my first perspective of that. So there are a lot of documents, has been highlighted about the why important of AI. That's why AI nation will encapsulate a lot of things in various documents. Basically, when you see about the NIMP, National Industrial Master Plan, 2030. So in that document, basically they highlight about the 3,000 factory will be converted to the smart manufacturing. Smart is meanings using artificial intelligence. In the national plan also, they also highlighted about the smart city. Smart city is using artificial intelligence. Okay? In the education plan, also highlighted that AI for the education. And I think that in many documents is highlighted about AI. So that's why Ministry of Digital encapsulate all those in the AI Nation projects. So then, but the most important, AI is AI, but we need to make sure that Madani values still remain a very important, to ensure that the technology follow the human being. It's not human being follow the technology. I think this is another aspect that we can discuss after that. So throughout all the document, so I think the message is very clear. To conclude the first question, basically, AI Nation is very important initiative, important project, important program to achieve Malaysia Madani economy framework that has been stated when our Prime Minister became a Prime Minister in 2022, I think, something like that. So then, if you understand that, so high growth, high value that we can achieve, through the artificial intelligence. That's why when we given assignment to establish the Faculty of Artificial Intelligence, so this we have gone through all the document. I have expected that, the Prime Minister will announce a big agenda of the artificial intelligence. Then that is the AI Nation, and also it is, monitored, or there are one agency that currently working closely, to make sure all those can be achieved, which is National AI Office. And then I think National AI Office working closely with us to discuss a lot of things, including how to make sure that all the regulation, act, and also several legal issue can be solved in the national level. So I think maybe that is the answer for the first question: why government really invest. Maybe I can, before I conclude the first question, that you can see the impact of that. The impact of that, the investment come to the, the investment was increased very well, basically.
Mashallah.
You can see that data center coming in, and also chip industry also. When I read a few documents that basically Malaysia have the ecosystem of chip industry. From Penang until southern of Malaysia, you can see that Penang. There are many companies, and also nowadays, not only international company, but local company also start to grow to support the micro, what we call it, this industry.
Yes.
The chip industry.
Chip industry.
Is semiconductor industry. You know why semiconductor is very important? Because semiconductor is a pillar to support artificial intelligence. Without all those chips, so we can deploy the algorithms, all the related technology to the people. So that is the impact. You can see that Hulem, for example, received a lot of investment. And also Kuala Lumpur, Selangor also have another initiative, to support the semicon. So all this basically, because why? Because we are putting AI Nation Initiative in the 13 Malaysia plan. I think that's my answer for the first question.
Thank you very much, Prof, for the sharing. And it's very impressive also to know that Malaysia has already taken action in this development of artificial intelligence. And of course, I also agree with you, Prof, that AI is the future and we have to embrace the AI. It's not something that we should not we should not take it as lightly, as there are a lot of potential, a lot of benefits that artificial intelligence can bring to our society, as Malaysia itself, as mentioned by Prof just now, through the growth of economy and also through the development of human value. And to bring this conversation forward, the government also is targeting on the large-scale AI talent development to ensure that the country has a workforce ready for the future digital economy. And at the same time, many people remain concerned that AI will take over human jobs. So how justified is this concern, Prof?
Okay, so I think thank you, Batrisyia, and also Doctor, for I think in many platforms, in many conference forum, these are the famous questions. These are the questions that people always asking. What is the answer? This is, last 2-3 years, yes, I can answer accurately. But now, when the industry start engage with artificial intelligence, the people start understand, our students also learn a basic of artificial intelligence. Now we can answer properly, okay? So according to several job reports that I have gone through from the World Economic Forum, we discussed also several research has been done by NUS, and we also done our research on that. So for me, there are 3 categories of job. If you refer to international standard, they describe that 10 occupation. Okay. So, but we refer to the job that 3 types of the job. The job basically a task given by individual to complete. Okay. There are certain occupation that focusing on managing. So like manager and also supervisor. So those people manage, and then there are also another job that require skill. So these are the skill-based job. Okay, so there's another things that operational job. Operation, they may, doing a repetitive job. For me, after I gone through those, because when a factory or a SME adopted AI, so the impact first is all the repetitive job will be taking place by artificial intelligence. We are doing by machine. You can see that in Cairo, you have several labs. For example, now we in the agriculture. So the agriculture, several process, simple process may take over by the machine or by the artificial intelligence. People say that. Then in the factory, for example, previously we require huge of the workers to support. But now maybe by using machine, a little bit reduced. We must understand also, certain job in Malaysia depend on the foreign worker. But now we start to reduce because of machine will take over. That number one. And then those who are involved in repetitive job, they need to do the reskill and upskill to make sure that they're still relevant in the sector. Okay, this is most important. Then, there are certain jobs taking place by AI, but there are more jobs coming in. Job of what? Job like the thing using thinking. Job are using skill. Job require the wisdom. And then require mind. So require mindfulness. To complete the certain tasks. Okay, so these jobs still remain, but in the several occupation, we can see that there are, for example, you work as an engineer. Not all the process is require AI. Sure that certain process require strong skill or require competency and require a high order thinking.
Yes.
So this is very important. Then we need to reshape our program of upskilling, reskilling of the people to make sure that they can understand artificial intelligence, then they can use artificial intelligence to support the industry. But the current situation now, SMEs start to adopt, and then big companies start to using artificial intelligence, to improve a lot of things in the organization. But they still require people to do the job of high order thinking and then skill-based job to make sure that the company can produce the productivity and also the quality. Mm-hmm. When you look at for example, typing, Ipoh. Typing is, we have a lot of SME support the Penang, big company, Semicon and whatnot. Okay, Simpan Renggam, the industry. All this industry, if they use artificial intelligence, they will increase their productivity and quality. Increase means that they will increase the profit. Okay, so those basically, AI is very important, but do this replace a certain job? Yes. But those people who involved in the evolution or revolution of this kind of technology in the SME or in the organization, mm-hmm. they need to learn AI. They need to be reskilled and upskilled to make sure that they can use AI to improve their performance in the organization.
Yes.
Because AI basically is about speed. AI is speed, basically. You want to improve the process. For example, you do certain job you can do for the weeks. When you use AI, it can reduce to a day or maybe an hour, because this tool already assists us to gather a lot of information, to automate a lot of the process. Okay? So then machine can do that. Why people want to do that? So, but what is the job of the individual or the person? They need to use artificial intelligence properly to make better decisions, to improve the productivity, then to improve the quality of services, quality of product. Then, they are still viable for the organization.
Even with the technology, human is still in the loop. So the role of the workers are actually still important, but essentially what is needed is for them to be reskilled and upskilled. This actually reminds me of what we went through in the late 1990s when people shifted from typewriters to computers. So the typists had to be reskilled and upskilled so that they can use the latest technology at that time. So basically, I think what we are going through now is the same. Only that we're talking about AI. So I think, Prof, you have actually highlighted that, while AI replaces certain kind of jobs, especially repetitive jobs, but definitely it will also create high value jobs for those who are willing to upskill and also reskill.
So that's why, you can go back to my first question, that Malaysia economy framework, Madani framework, high growth, high value. These are the technology that will assist us. Our problem basically, we cannot produce a lot. We cannot produce quality currently. I'm not saying that all, but I think this is the current problem, because we have a lot of innovation. We have a lot of, creativity in our product, basically. Our own product, homegrown product. So this product, should be market globally, should market globally. So then we need to improve. Then it can go to the global.
Yes.
When it go to global, it will increase the shilling, and then also increase the flow, because when a company receive a lot of profit, they can pay better salary to their employee.
Yes.
So I think these are the concepts why it's very important. So what Cairo are doing currently, basically offering training to give awareness to SME, come and then understand AI, what AI can do. So then SME can improve their services, can improve their product.
Yes.
When it go to the global market, we can, we can say that our GDP will be increased. So then we can contribute a lot of product to the global market.
And if may I add to the conversation, as of course addressing the fear that people have on whether AI will take over their job, and I agree that awareness is important to help curb this fear of AI taking over their job. Of course, it cannot be denied that there are jobs that will be taken over, but that one is the repetitive, and we can focus by having artificial intelligence. We can focus more on the productivity and also on the quality. So by having this awareness, I think it's important for us to shift this view on how we look at AI. Instead of looking at it as a tool to replace the human job, take it as a tool that can enhance our capabilities and also making our work more efficient. And mashallah, I think we have a lot more to discuss in this conversation, but we go for a short break first. And to our listeners, that is Professor Shafri. He has just shared with us what AI nation truly means and why artificial intelligence should not be viewed merely as a replacement for human being. So we'll take for a short break, and when we return, we will explore the relationship between technological intelligence and human development. Stay tuned to AI and You.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to AI and You. With me, Sheikh Muhammad Saifuddeen, Sheikh Muhammad Saleh and Batrisyia Afrina, and with our guest, Professor Dr. Muhammad Shafri, who is the Vice Chancellor of Universiti Teknologi Malaysia, UTM. Now, Prof, let's continue with our discussion. I like to quote, or I like to refer to one of our contemporary Islamic thinkers, Emeritus Professor Dr. Osman Bakar, who often remind us that technological progress must be balanced with the intellectual and spiritual development of human beings. Now, we know that AI is rapidly advancing. So how do you view the relationship between technological intelligence and human development?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sheikh. I think this is very pertinent question. It's very important, very vital for us to understand, basically. I will quote that, the verse from Quran, kuntum khaira ummatin ukhrijat linnas ta'muruna bil ma'ruf wa tanhauna 'anil munkar wa tu'minuna billah. I think in the verse that they said, Allah said that we are the best ummah. So the best ummah means you must show your credibility, but you must be aware that you must promote doing better, and then to make sure that provident with the all regulation set by Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala, and then follow whatever that as a human being. Yeah? So this is very important. So based on that verse, we say that khairu ummah, the best people, then you must produce the best solution for a society. That we call it rahmatan lil alamin. Khalifah will be the best leader to produce. So according to Prof. Osman Bakar, okay, in several his speech, he discussed about the natural intelligence and also artificial intelligence. In whatever situation, we need natural intelligence. Humans have their own intelligence. That's why human be the best. We are the best ummah because we have our own intelligence. We can think beyond whatever that we have, basically. But artificial intelligence only can do whatever that we feed to that. If you didn't give any information to the model, so the model cannot think, because they cannot learn. So we cannot force the model to learn. This all the mechanism in artificial intelligence. So the human wisdom still require in whatever situation of, if the artificial intelligence achieve the level of maybe the same with a human, still human has the ability to think beyond the innovation. So this is, I believe, because the verse also said clearly, we are the best people among the best. Of course, the best people should have capability to manage all the technology. But you need to understand. You must be clever enough. You must be learning. You need to learn to make sure that you are better than a technology. I think this is most important in currently, because in the current situation. So this is my answer regard to Dr. Sheikh's question.
And Prof, as we are actually reaching the end of this conversation, what would be your final message or key takeaway for our listeners out there regarding Malaysia's journey towards becoming an AI nation?
So in the situation of we are using a technology for the purpose of to improve our life, and then the impact of using technology, innovation, and whatnot is a fragmentation of the people, because of technology, sometimes will divide people. But now the most important thing is that we need to bring the adab as a core value to the people, because adab, basically the meaning of adab is you achieve a level of peace, a level of justice. Justice in what? Justice in our life. Justice is put things properly. So then when all this technology, we must understand the adab, we must understand the justice, that to put things properly, to put things in proper place. So for example, you develop the technology for what? For justice? Yes. But if the purpose of to destroy our planet, so that might be, we may facing a lot of problems. That's why adab is very important in the age of we are facing digitalization, technology, new innovation, and also the fragmentation of the society. I think this is my last word, that adab is very important. So we need to make sure that our people hold the value of adab, whereby that also stated in the Malaysia Madani values. So I think that my closing remark.
Thank you very much, Prof. Yes, I agree that with the advancement of artificial intelligence, we shouldn't left alone with it without the adab, and adab is very important. I think we also discussed about this previously in AI and or the ethics. Without ethics, people going to misuse artificial intelligence, and that's why we can see a lot of cases out there. People got scammed with the usage of, for example, like deep fakes. And there are a lot of things, if without ethics or without adab being used, comes together with artificial intelligence, it can bring to a lot of, in fact, disaster. And this is something that people should be really concerned about.
I think, Batrisyia, if I may add just a little bit before we end, when we say AI, artificial intelligence, AI can also refer to adab and ilm.
Adab and ilm. Wow.
So I think that goes hand in hand.
So that great, Dr. Shaikh. You are promoting adab, and it's very, very important to solve the problem of people may currently, when they champion in new invention, they must care about whether the solution is better for the people or not. Because the one thing that I'm always, remind people that we have three things we need to, in Islam, that we need to hold. That first is hablum minallah, the relationship us with a God. Second, hablum minan nas, relationship within the people. Second, hablum minal alam, is about the planetary health. That what people are discussing today, that Islam is offer the best approach. I think the one word that we can promote is adab. So adab and what?
Ilm, knowledge.
Adab and ilmu.
AI, adab and ilm.
Adab and ilm.
Using AI with ilm. MashaAllah, doctor. I never thought about that before. And MashaAllah, I think it's very refreshing to hear on this conversation. And this actually can relate to our tagline for this season of AI in You, smart tech, smarter you, on using this technology to make you better, and also to make you improve the quality if you are working right, working the services, not just for ourselves actually, but also for the society and the Malaysia itself, making it better. And with that being said, I would like to thank you, Professor, on your sharing on today's conversation. As we conclude today's discussion, it reminds us that becoming an AI nation is not merely about adopting advanced technologies, but also about the developing people who can use those technology wisely. And as Malaysia moves towards its AI aspiration, the true measure of success will be our ability to balance innovation, human values, knowledge, and service to society. And with that being said, again, I would like to thank Professor Technologist Dr. Muhammad Shafri Muhammad Rahim, Vice Chancellor of Universiti Teknologi Malaysia, UTM, for sharing his insights on today's topic, AI Nation. And with that being said, again, thank you, Professor, for being with us. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you, Batrisyia. Thank you, Dr. Shaikh. Waalaikumsalam. Jazakallah khairan kasira.
And dear listeners, thank you also for tuning to us today. AINU Season 2, Smart Tech Smarter You is brought to you by the Center for Artificial Intelligence and Robotics, Cairo, Universiti Teknologi Malaysia, UTM. Inshallah, we'll be back again next week with another exciting discussion on the role of artificial intelligence in our lives and society. I'm Batrisyia Afrina.
And I'm Sheikh Muhammad Saifuddeen bin Sheikh Muhammad Saleh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Till we meet again.